Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with another episode in our junk journal tip-in series. Today we're going to be making an interesting tip-in. We're actually going to do a double tip-in. So we've got one that's featured on the top of the page and then another one that is a flip out, just because we've got the space to do it, and I thought why not do a double take and get a little extra piece of a flip in our piece today. So I did a couple of samples which we'll talk about in a second, but I also did one in my Christmas journal. So this is my junk journal Christmas prompt journal. This is the book I'm going to be working in. By the time you see this video, you will have already seen the construction of this. It was tricky. It was a hard process for me, but I believe in you. I think you guys can do it. So I hope that you'll give it a try. It is a no-sew journal. I had a little bit of fussiness where I've got this tearing here that happened in the spine. So I'm going to try it again with another journal and see if I can rectify that and solve that so that it doesn't happen in the future. But it's really great. It's not it can't take a lot of bulk, as I talked about in the previous video, but I wanted to show you the project that we're doing today that I also did in this journal. So I did decorate the front. This is going to be my last prompt of this challenge, which is where I'm going to put my wishes for I think my wishes for 2026. Can't remember what the prompt is exactly, but I thought I'd save that envelope for that. And again, the prompt is over on my Facebook group. You don't have to do the prompts on any particular day. Pick the one that it inspires you the most and go with that. So, but it's really beautiful. I'm using chapter 1 papers here. Really beautiful. So I went ahead and made this project using the paper that is on our cover, even though most of it you cannot see. So basically it flips up because it's got a score here, so it flips up and then it flips up again for a writing spot. Okay, so it's kind of a tip in writing spot kind of feature. But what I loved about it is we've got this bit at the top that sticks up above the page. I hope you guys can see that. And I put some eyelets just to kind of add a little bit of pizzazz to it, which I really liked. And then we've also got a tip out. Or tip in, it flips out. Okay, so tons of writing space under there, which I really love. And so that is that's what I did for this journal. So let me show you the other samples. So this is another one I did where I put the element on the side, but it does the same thing. It flips. It's a little stiff because I put that butterfly on and I didn't rebend it. So it goes like that, and then it opens like that. And then it's got the tip in here feature that is a tip up or down, however you want to look at that. So that's great too. This base could also be written on. It's neutral enough. So that is that. That was a little tight there. And then this one worked out a little bit funky over here. So probably on this side of the page, when I use this in a journal, I would do some kind of cluster up here to take away from that. I didn't think about what the impact of this being here was going to be on this side. So, but that's okay. We can come back to that at a later date. So this is another one. Again, this is the journal spread. So it could go like this and be on the top, or it could be on the inside, whichever you prefer. So again, we've got that same flip up. It's got a score line here, and then we've got that writing space. And then we have, on this one, I added this file folder bit and put a couple of large tags in there just as an extra bonus. And then that also is a tip out. So let me grab that. So tip out. So great writing space. Okay. And so this is our template. So now if you're following along exactly with my measurements, this is what you're going to want to do. So the flip out measures 6 1/8 by 6 1/2 with a 1-inch hinge. So it's got a 1-inch hinge on this side. And then our top piece measures 5 inches by 11 inches. Mine will, the samples would be slightly, I just noted the samples would be slightly different length because my printer doesn't print borderless, so it ends up being 10 3/4, but it doesn't really matter at all. It just shortened this area here a little bit. And I've got measurements. We're going to score at 4 3/4, we're going to score at 1 1/8, and then we're going to score at 2 1/4. So we'll go through that step by step together. So again, that flips up like that, and you've got the writing space hidden underneath there, which I think is a great feature as well. So I'm going to leave that here because I'm going to need to refer to that. I've got my Fabri-Tac, my white glue, vintage photo archival ink, and my corner rounder in case I want to, well, not in case, I will want to round corners and ink. So just getting that stuff out of the way because we're going to need our score tool and a trimmer. So I've got a little bit of embellishments here. This is the North Pole kit from My Porch Print, not My Porch Prints, Pink Monarch Prints. And so we're going to be working with these papers. Isn't that just so gorgeous? Look at those. So I think this will be our flip, and this will be our journal page. And I think, nope, this is not going to be our journal page. Well, this is not directional. So you have writing going in all different directions. So you could totally make this. I think I want this to be the flip, the tip in, the main one, and then we'll make this be the journal page. Let's do that. So let's start with the journal page. We're just going to fold this in half. It's easy as pie, and we're going to go ahead and round the corners because I like that look. You certainly don't have to round if you don't want to. Okay, move that mouse. That mouse is always problematic. I should put like something on her so she pops out at me and screams, "Move me out of the way before you start the camera." Okay, so that's the base. That's our journal page. So I'm going to put that over there. And then the next thing we can do is we'll do our flip out next. So that is measuring again 6. I believe the measurements are, I should put height and width, guys. I'm so sorry. So it's 6.5 inches. That's the height. And this is the width. Okay, I'll revise that with some black marker. And then the other measurement here to here with the hinge is 6 1/8. Okay, so let's get this over here, and let's see what part of this we want. So you'll probably notice like a lot of the stuff is going this way, but the writing is going this way. So I'm going to go with it because I really like this paper. It won't be big enough if I do it that way. So I'm going to line this up to my 5-inch mark. Yeah, I feel happy about what that's including there as well. And then we're going to, oh, I was going to do the flip. Sorry, guys. I just changed my mind. We'll do the flip next. We're doing this part. So 5 inches by 11 inches. I'm still not feeling well, guys. It's Sunday the 16th, and I wake up every morning just in excruciating pain, and I think it's because I have a missing bottom tooth now, and so my jaw cannot line up like it's used to lining up. So it's very, very problematic. I'm hoping that's going to just get better. So you'll notice that this is too short, so because I had to cut the borders off. So I'm going to just line this up and make sure it's just short of 10 3/4. It does not matter. It's not a big deal. Okay. So then we're going to go ahead and score the top of this 2 1/4 inches, which is the portion that's going to flip over the page. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to just line this up to 2 1/4. So I say all that to say I'm a little dopey. Didn't sleep great because it was hurting, and then they say that it's because you're laying down and, you know, the blood flow is different and all that kind of jazz. Okay, so that is let's go ahead and ink that just so we can see it as we go along. We're going to round those corners too, but I want to do the main folds first. So this is the part that's going to flip over to the back, and then we're going to score again at 1 1/8. And because I struggle with that on my cutter, I'm going to just get my ruler out here and mark 1 1/8 inches right there approximately. I'm going to try to not take my eyes off of it because that struggle is real as well. So let me get that over there. I hope you guys can see this okay. Okay, so that is that line. Okay, and we'll go ahead and ink that. Make sure that these are lining up on the edge so that it doesn't get all wonky. Okay, so those are our 2 lines. And then our next one is 4 3/4 from this mark. So I believe, let me just double check. I question myself because I created this. Oh, no, it's not. What? Oh, I think this is. No, it's not. This is completely wrong. What the what? Let's just see. Let's just cross that out. I will fix that. My apologies. You'll be able to see the corrected version at the end of the video in the photos. So let's see. This is this. My goodness. I'm just going to use my template to help me along, and then we're going to get a true measurement here. My apologies for that error. So it's right there. So let's see what that truly measures out to be. I don't want to steer you guys wrong. So that is basically 3 3/4, just short of, well, it's just short of 3 3/4. We're just going to go with it. We'll just do 3 3/4. 3 3/4. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's go ahead and score that because that's going to be another fold. Okay, and then our remainder is, this section is 3 5/8. Okay, yeah, so that is good. So we've got all of our score lines. Let's go ahead and ink that as edge as well. And I'm going to go ahead and round the corners, and I'm going to go ahead and ink this whole base up, and I'll be right back. Okay, I think I caught all the bits. Oh, got a last bit on the bottom here. So while I'm just finishing this up, I don't know, I'm already making a nativity journal. I think I'm going to call it the Meaning of Christmas journal, which is going to be using those beautiful nativity papers that I showed you in a previous video. And I'd like to make another journal, but I'm not sure how much time I will have. So we're going to play it by ear. I will make ephemera as though I'm going to do it, and then we'll see how it goes. I do get Christmas break off, so, and I have 5 days at Thanksgiving, so I might be able to get some stuff done. So that is that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to fold that back over, and we're going to make some marks for our eyelets. So this is 5 inches wide, so obviously our center is 2.5, but we're not going to go to the center. We're going to go 1 inch in on each side. So I use my black marker because it really shows up, and I don't have to guess about that. And I'm just estimating the distance in, which is risky, but it's okay. I'm gonna grab my eyelet setter here, and let's go ahead and punch some holes. I'm really warm. I'm going to have to turn the fan on, guys. So give me a second. I know that can be problematic, but it's too hot in here. So give me just a quick second. I think my body is still fighting infection, so I'm running a little bit warmer than usual even. So I'm going to go ahead and set my eyelets as well. And this just gives kind of a cool decorative element, I think, that makes it a little bit different. And I love to do that. This makes it pop up above the page a little bit, or to the side, whichever you prefer. You could do either or. Oh my goodness, come on. There we go. There we go. Okay, so the next thing is, oh, I guess I should have inked this up. Let me do that really quick. I should have done that when I did the other piece. Okay, now we're ready. So you have, again, 2 choices. You could put this on the front, which I think I'm inclined to, or you can put it on the inside and then you get all this writing space. You know what? I think I want to do it this way. I think I do want it on the inside. And then our tree one will go as our side flip. So now what you're going to do is go ahead and just kind of position this on top of the page and kind of get it even, Steven. And I'm going to make a mark on the right side so that when I put this back on with glue, I can follow this line over here. So I'm just going to make a line there. So that tells me that's my boundary. So I love that. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. And then when we glue this, and this folds up, it's going to kind of tuck under there, which is kind of nifty. And it does go just to that, below that score line. So that's perfect. Perfect. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and put some glue. Let's see if I can figure out how far that glue line needs to go. I did not anticipate that. So it needs to be probably, it's kind of hard to tell because of where those eyelets are, probably about a 1/2 inch from here to here. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here. And I'm going to just put some glue in there. Okay. I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac so I can move this around. It's a little bit tricky. You don't need a ton, so don't worry about it at all. Okay, got a little bit of excess there, and then we're gonna put this back on, and I'm gonna follow that. Actually, we probably want glue all the way down. My apologies on this part. You wouldn't have to do that. You could actually make that be a tuck. It probably holds stuff on the other side if you so chose, but I'm not doing that today. So I'm just lining it up to that pencil mark. I can see that I'm right in line with that pencil mark here. Okay, there we go. Nice. Except it's not straight, so let's get her straight. Get her straight. Okay. Beautiful. And then you've got this fun element on that side, which I think is very cool. And again, with Pink Monarch prints, all the things go together, which I love. I love so much. Okay, so that's that. I'm not going to tuck that up there because I'm afraid that it'll get stuck. So I'm just going to kind of fold that up until that dries. Okay, and then let's work on our side tip in. So we'll use these Christmas trees. So it measures, again, 6.5 inches wide. So let me just bring the trimmer over here, and we're going to cut it this direction at 6.5. Oh, I wanted to leave that brownish part. And then 6 1/8. And this is the part where I struggle with the 8ths. I struggle with rulers in general. So we're going to just use our, use a ruler here and just mark this height at 6 1/8. Okay, right there. And we're going to cut that off. I never could read a ruler, guys. It's just, I can read the main measurements, but I just struggle. It's too mechanical for me. So there we go. So then the next thing you need is a 1-inch hinge. So we're going to go ahead and put this in the trimmer and use the score tool. Do not cut it, Renee. Do not cut it. And I have a fun video for the Friday video. It's going to be how small can you go with waterfall ephemera. So we're going to be making some itty bitty ephemera or waterfall. Is that the same size? Oh, look, I did that wrong. I did it the wrong size. Not a big deal. I think I got those measurements backwards. I did. Look at that. I'm going to see if I've got another piece of paper. Just a moment. Okay. Kind of bummed about that, but this will work just as good. Look at that, because it's that same paper. I actually think it looks better. Not a big fan of things going kind of not straight on a project. You can see that they're all cattywampus, which is fine, but I don't care for that. So let's do this again. Oh my goodness, I don't know what I was thinking. So, well, let's open it up and confirm here. Boom. So it is 6 1/8 is the width. Did I do that wrong? Oh, I did do that wrong. That's why. So this is the height. Nope. Oh my goodness. Why is thinking so hard? 6 1/8 is the width. 6.5 is the height. Okay. Goodness gracious me. Okay, so let's get that cutter back over here. So let's make sure we got this right. 6 1/8. So we're going to need to make a mark again. My apologies, guys. Just going off here to make my mark. Boom. Okay. And it's 6.5 inches tall. It should be right now. Let's see. Yes. Now we can do our 1 inch score line. You wouldn't have to go that big, but I just thought for this, just because it's kind of decorative on that other side, we're going to be strategic this time about how we do that so that we don't have any kind of an interference in our design here, because that comes down to here and we want to make sure that we don't bump into that. Okay, that's 1 inch. Give that a little bit of a press. And let's go ahead and round this and ink it. So I was thinking about, and one of my previous samples after I did it, that I think a pretty punch, edge punch would be nice here. So I'm going to reach for an edge punch here. Let's try this little flower one. I think it kind of looks like a snowflake a little bit. So I'm going to do it on this side so I can see better. And I always struggle with where to start with these. Sometimes I start in the middle and it doesn't work, and it's like, just gonna go for it. And I'll see, I wasn't right. Definitely not feeling like myself. My brain is not thinking very clearly, so my apologies for the hiccups here. The struggle is real, as you know. There we go, that should capture them all. We're gonna get to the end of that one though. So what do we do about that? What do we do about this edge? I think I'm just going to clip it and round that corner off. Okay, just kind of like that. It's a little bit rounder than the other side, but I'd rather do that than cut it off directly. Guess I don't need to ink that edge because it's not going to show. Got to ink that edge. That's really pretty. Boy, that's really, really wonky on that side. That's okay. So let's go ahead and tuck that in. Should be safe to do that now. So that's where she lands. And this is going to go like this. So now we need to think about where this is going to end up. So we are a little bit. So what I'm going to do is, oh no. What do I want to do? I think I want to just cut a little bit off of this entirely, so that will solve our wonky corner here, and it will also help us with the next thing. So I'm just going to trim that off. I hope I don't regret that. You never know. Okay, so we're going to round that corner again and see how we fare. Oh yeah, that will be fine. Yes, just a little bit shorter, or yeah, shorter than we would have what we were planning on, but that's okay. There's usually a workaround when something doesn't work the way that you expect. You can just pause and try something new, okay? So that's great, and that will help us clear this top. So let's put that back in like that, and like that, and let's see, we probably have to go to the bottom. Yep, look at that. Perfecto. Look at that. That is really pretty. Love it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get that really tightly in there. Okay, and then I'm just going to use my white glue because we've got all those little bits that we need to get around. So pretty. Just glue that down. That'll be fun. It would be interesting to put something not quite cleared there. So we're just going to tuck that under there. So that is it. So you've got this up here, and then you've got, now this could be wider, and then you'd meet it here, but I kind of like the staggered look. I often go for that on purpose. But you've got your flip up and you've got your flip out. And let's erase that pencil line so I don't forget. And then let's get some, why isn't that one erasing? That's weird. Let's get some seam binding that will go with this. I think probably a green is going to be our best bet. Make sure I don't have any over on the table there. No. So let's pull this out. Thinking like this color would be the best. This is called Moss. And I get my seam binding from My Scrap Cabin Shop. And if you use coupon code B.Reborn 10, you can get 10% off your order. So she's great. She's fast and she's kind. And she actually sent me a note with the last order I made saying, send me a message when you upload a video. And then I forget every time. I appreciate the heart that she has. She says, I love your work and whatnot, but I always forget. It's like too many things to remember. And this new storage solution is the way to go, guys. I wouldn't spool your seam binding because you lose the crinkle. So learned that the hard way. So let's just turn this way, and we're going to go ahead and feed this through here. And we'll do just a tad bit of decorating. I've just got a couple elements. I had a hard time finding something with this particular kit that felt similar to other ways I've decorated. It doesn't like have circles and stuff in this kit, which is fine. I think it's an earlier kit, and it wasn't like everything wasn't all in one. I had to buy separate things, which I got it when they were running one of their big sales, so I'm really happy with the purchase. I've mentioned I don't like super traditional Christmas designs and colors. I like things to be a little bit different, not so traditional in terms of color and style. Like I'm not a big Santa person. I don't mind like a vintage Santa kind of thing, but I don't like the cartoonish toy, like, I don't know. That's just me, though. We didn't really kind of expose our kids to a bunch of that. Like we never like promoted it, but we also didn't deny our kids the joy of that experience of thinking about Santa and stuff. So it's not like we're extremists or anything. Okay, so there we go. That's going to tuck up. So now we've got a few pieces over here. We've got this bit here, which I'm thinking, I'm not going to put anything on the front. That will be something we can do later. I'm actually thinking these could both go in the same, oh, maybe our snowman could go on there. Yes, our snowman is going to go on there. So I feel like I need to divide this, and you guys have seen me do that a lot. I just really want to pop up that separation there. So I'm going to go ahead and make a pencil mark here and here. Let's just cut it by hand. Let's just live on the wild side on this Sunday afternoon. It is cold and rainy and nasty out. I think I'll round those corners too, just because it's a wide enough piece that you can do that without distorting the curve. And for not feeling well, I've gotten a ton done. Like this is my Sunday, and this is my Wednesday video, and then I have already prepped for the Friday video, so then I'll have time, hopefully, Christina, to work on your journal this week. That's my hope. Oh, I like that. I don't want to cut out all that green, though. I'm going to lose the green, so that's the way it's going to go if I do this. What about if I separated it this way? Let's separate it that way. We can change our mind. It's our project, right? Let's do that. There's always a way to improvise and think outside of the box, which is, I think, one of my favorite things about junk journaling, journal making, whatever you want to call it, is the personal style element that you can add to your work. You don't have to do it like everyone else is. And I love watching people in my group and people on the channel that follow me, you know, doing things their own way. I love that. But I love that a lot more because we can retain that green, which was important, and then our snowman can fit on top. Perfecto. Let's glue that on. Nice short video today, which is what I'm always aiming for, and sometimes I succeed and sometimes I don't. The journal making one, the no-sew binding video I did was nearly an hour, and there was literally nothing else I could cut out to shrink it because it was all important to the process. So that happens sometimes. So if that ever happens, you can speed me up to in the gears on YouTube to 1.5 times the normal speed, and it doesn't distort me too much, and it's not ridiculous to listen. So oh, I love that snowman. So this is the stuff I do love. I love the more vintage look of some of this ephemera. So yeah, look at that. Look at that guy. He is so cute. Okay, let's glue him on. You ever have times when your fingers just don't work? They just don't work. I'm debating. I think I kind of want to go off this edge here more than the other edge for some reason. Okay. I don't think I have a word. Oh yeah, I do. I ordered a kit from Pink Monarch Prints with some more faith-based kind of quotes and words. That's not cut straight, but they don't have any border on them, which I struggle with that because I struggle to be able to cut straight. But we're gonna go where now. The snowman is not the true meaning of Christmas, but I like the sentiment all the same. And then we've got this tree, and I thought the tree could come down here, and I think I want to round those edges too, but it's probably a 7mm. Nope. Let's try 10. Yep, 10. I like the rounded, soft edges. Okay, so do we want to separate this area? We could. We could. Let's do it. Let's do it. And that's going to help this all tie into the top by bringing in some of the elements that are down below or down up above. So like if we come like this, with a little bit of that black, I want a little bit less of the black and more of, actually, I think I kind of want to go that route. I don't want a ton of that black. Okay, I'm going to turn and cut this because it is a longer bit there. So just a bit of a strip, just like we've talked about before. That helps balance everything out. Let's go ahead and round this as well since we did it on the other element. So I feel like the layering always gives a really unique look to your project. It gives depth and dimension and a sense of kind of being more alive, even though it's just paper. So, oh, I love that. Okay, so do we want the tree to kind of sit on it? We want it to go, see, it's the tree element here is pretty big. I don't want to lose all that. So let's play around with the placement. See if we go, what it would look like if we went down here. Yep, that's what I want to do. So I'm going, oh, let's see, what is that? About 1/2 inch from the bottom. So I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac. Doesn't have to be precise. I'm just kind of estimating. Probably a pretty good estimation there. And then that can go, I think I want to raise that up a little bit like that. Okay. You could make a pocket out of this, but I didn't, so we're already in the glue process. But you could totally, anything you add on top of this element, you could make a pocket out of if you wanted to, like I did in one of my other samples where I used that file folder bit. So it's from the kit. There. Lovely. Okay, so that's that. Oh my goodness, I think this one's my favorite. I think this is my favorite. I feel like that's off-centered, so let's see if we can move it over a little bit. Probably because that's off-centered would be my guess. So let's round the corners on this as well. I have to use the 4mm because it's such a thin strip. I'm going to start getting back to my walking every day after work because I'm getting very, very out of my routine and I need to rein it in. Oh, I don't know if I like that. Oh, how about if we put it up there? Yeah, let's put it up there. So I've gained almost all of my weight back that I had lost, and I'm frustrated with myself, and I know that for me, activity keeps me on track. So if I'm not getting my activity in, then I'm not as committed to avoiding some of the bad foods that enter my world. So I'm going to start walking again after work. So that is off-centered. Don't you worry, it's fine. So look at all that writing space. You've got this full page, which I would probably in a journal, I would leave that. The other thing you want to keep in mind is you want to make sure when you're making a full journal spread, and you're decorating it before you put it in a journal, make sure you're not too close to your spine because that can be problematic when you're trying to sew your signatures in. That is a perfect amount of space there. So that is it, my friends. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that you'll give it a try. If you want to participate in our Junk Journal Christmas Prompt Challenge, it's just a playful thing. There's no prizes. There's no anything. We're just doing it together. I'm just trying to get people in the spirit of creating around the holidays. It will go from whenever you start now, which is the 16th of November, all the way through December. It will include prompts for Christmas, but at the very end, you could also do prompts that are about New Year's and New Year's wishes and things like that. So you can head on over. Please, please, please click the link below. Make sure you answer the questions because if you don't, I'm just going to have to decline. Answer the questions and agree to the rules. Okay, I do have some particular rules in the group that are important to that space for me, in terms of the kind of content that is not allowed, which it's not much. It's pretty obvious. As a believer, I don't do Halloween. I don't do dark arts. I don't do gothic and witchcraft or anything like that. So that's really the only main exclusion for content. So I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.